OnePlus recently created waves launching the One. Top of the line specs with a mid-range price tag. A style of marketing that can only be called disruptive. Well, there's another Chinese manufacturer whose specialty has been disruptive marketing. Xiaomi. Xiaomi's been doing this a lot longer, but they've kept mostly to China and are just starting to expand internationally. OnePlus, on the other hand, have decided to go global straight away. Similar marketing strategies, similar pricing strategies, OnePlus and Xiaomi seem to have a lot in common. While Xiaomi's flagship for 2014, the Mi 4 has been released, it's still insanely hard to get. So with recent price cuts on the Mi 3, I thought let's pit the OnePlus One against Xiaomi's almost year-old flagship and see which offers the best value for your money. So without further ado, if this is your first time here or in case you're too exhausted from trying to procure either of these devices, my name's Ash and you're watching C4E Tech. Let's get started. First, let's start with the built-in design. Both phones have plastic exteriors with metal reinforcements inside. The OnePlus One has a little metal running around the sides that enhances the looks, and it's also worth noting that the back of the OnePlus One is user replaceable. On the other hand, the Xiaomi Mi 3 is the slimmer of both devices. It's also lighter and easier to use single-handed, largely due to the smaller 5-inch display used compared to the 5.5-inch display on the OnePlus One. Sadly, neither phone supports user-replaceable batteries or storage expansion via microSD. 64GB variants of both devices are available though. While the Mi 3 opts for the old menu, home and back capacitive key layout, the One lets you choose between on-screen and capacitive keys. Overall, build largely boils down to personal preference. What do you want? A bigger display or easier single-handed usage? Talking about the display, both devices sport Corning Gorilla Glass 3 covered Full HD displays, IPS LCD on the Mi 3 and a Japan display-made LTPS display on the One. Owing to the pixels being stretched over a larger surface area, the OnePlus One has a lower pixel density of 401 pixels per inch compared to 441 on the Mi 3. In real usage though, that's a negligible difference. Both displays are sharp and offer great viewing angles. But when it comes to contrast, the Mi 3 edges ahead. The blacks on the Xiaomi Mi 3 are much deeper than the one on the OnePlus One. Sunlight legibility is also a little better. Overall, when it comes to the display, the Mi 3 manages to ever so slightly edge past the OnePlus One. Now let's move on to what's underneath the hood. Well, the Mi 3 is powered by a Snapdragon 800 chipset with 4 Krait 400 cores clocked at 2.3 GHz each, coupled with an Adreno 330 GPU and 2GB of RAM. The OnePlus One is powered by the latest Snapdragon 801 chipset. That's 4 Krait 400 cores clocked a little higher at 2.5 GHz each, coupled with an overclocked Adreno 330 GPU and 3GB of RAM. Thanks to the newer chip inside and the extra 1GB of RAM, the OnePlus One easily takes this round. That being said, the Mi 3 still packs enough to run anything that you throw at it with ease. There is almost nothing on the Play Store that the Mi 3 cannot run. It's also worth noting that the Mi 3 lacks LTE support though. This is available on the OnePlus One. Now moving on to audio quality, the OnePlus One again takes the win here. While the internal speakers on both devices are clear, the OnePlus One's dual speaker setup does sound louder. As far as audio quality via earphones go, both phones deliver clear and crisp audio, not much between them. Now let's move on to battery life. 30-50 mAh on the Mi 3 and 50 mAh more on the OnePlus One. Both phones perform great when it comes to battery life. Despite the larger display, CyanogenMod and Snapdragon 801's optimizations caused the OnePlus One to marginally outperform the Mi 3 in terms of battery life. To put that into numbers, on a looping video playback test, the Xiaomi Mi 3 lasted a little over 10 hours before running out of juice, while the OnePlus One managed to last almost 11 hours. Next up, we get to the cameras. Both phones sport 13 megapixel cameras from Sony. The OnePlus One features the newer IMX214 sensor with a 6-element lens compared to the IMX135 sensor with 5-element lens on the Mi 3. Both are good performers though. While images are sharp and the noise is minimal on both, the images shot by the Mi 3 are a little more vivid, while the ones shot by the OnePlus One have a little bit more natural color reproduction. The user interfaces on the other hand look drastically different, but again they are more or less equally functional. Only when it comes to video recording does the OnePlus One manage to take a substantial lead. The One has the ability to shoot 4K video, which the Mi 3 lacks. Additionally, the OnePlus One is the first device in the market to shoot 4K DCI, wider Ultra HD videos. And when it comes to the front-facing shooter, the 5-megapixel snapper on the OnePlus One outperforms its 2-megapixel counterpart on the Mi 3. Now we get to software. Both devices run on Android 4.4 KitKat with their respective custom UIs on top. Again, there is a lot of similarity here. Both CyanogenMod on the OnePlus One and MIUI on the Xiaomi Mi 3 have long been custom rounds of choice for a lot of users using devices from other manufacturers. The fact that they've been around for a long time means both ROMs are pretty stable. While CyanogenMod opts to retain the look and feel of stock Android and build features on top of it, MIUI chooses to rewrite the script altogether. It doesn't even come with an app drawer. While both MIUI and CyanogenMod are very customizable, MIUI has the edge when it comes to the sheer vast amount of customization options available. It's also worth noting that while MIUI has always been smooth, it's never felt rapid fast like stock Android, and here's where CyanogenMod shines. CyanogenMod feels rapid fast. That being said, it's worth mentioning that neither ROM's perfect. They do have a few minor quirks. For example, MIUI is known to throw up the occasional force close error, and CyanogenMod has, say, an oversensitive tap to wake function that ends up turning on the music player and flashlight randomly. Well, these are annoyances, sure, they are few and far between, and most times a simple Google search would get you a fix or a workaround. That is, if you haven't already received an update fixing the issue. I say that because support is that good here. Both Cyanogen and Xiaomi are constantly updating their respective ROMs, adding new features and fixing old bugs. When it comes right down to it, it again boils down to personal preference. If it's a rapid fast stock Android SQI that you seek, CyanogenMod it is. If instead you want the endless customization options and want something different but very functional, you could give MIUI a shot. I believe that there are people who love both, as evident by the millions of people using both CyanogenMod and MIUI. So with that being said, we now get to price. Like I mentioned earlier, both OnePlus and Xiaomi have similar marketing strategies. Sell close to cost, create incredible hype. This leads to a lot of media attention and free word of mouth advertising. Now this is a double-edged sword, because this leaves a lot of prospective buyers dissatisfied without a device in hand. Officially, the OnePlus One is priced at $299 for the 16GB variant and $349 for the 64GB variant. The Mi 3 on the other hand is priced at about $240 for the 16GB variant and $325 for the 64. But in reality, getting these two devices via the official channels is very difficult, and you might end up having to pay a bit more to get them from resellers. So what do we have here? In the One's favor, we've got battery life, performance, connectivity, audio, and camera. And the Mi 3 won out on display and price. That's 5-2 in favor of the OnePlus One, with two categories, design and software, left for you to choose based on your personal preference. I do feel that the OnePlus One is the better phone here, you just cannot go wrong with it. But that being said, the Mi 3 does give it a run for its money. Even as of today, the Mi 3 is still a pretty decent alternative to the OnePlus One. Say the Mi 3 is locally available, say you want MIUI and or a smaller form factor, you could go with the Mi 3 and it would still make sense. Because keep in mind, the OnePlus One had to fight tooth and nail to win 4 out of those 5 rounds. It says a lot about Xiaomi that their almost year-old flagship has managed to go toe-to-toe with a mid-2014 flagship. So anyway, we will be getting our hands on the Mi 4 pretty soon, and we'll pit that against the OnePlus One to see if Xiaomi's current gen flagship can do what its last gen flagship couldn't. Take the OnePlus One down as the best value for money flagship around. Anyway, if you do want to pick up either of these phones or a Mi 4, you can do that from wapmart.com. I'll leave a direct link down below in the description. I'd also leave a discount code down below. Right now, at the time of shooting this video, the discount code C4ETech, and it's for $10 off. The value of the code and or the code itself might change in the future. If it does, I'll let you guys know in the description, so watch that space. To take a more in-depth look at both these devices, feel free to check out my full reviews. I'll leave a link to that in the description as well. It will also be annotated to the side of this video. So with that, we get to the end of this comparison video. Hope you liked it. Hope you found it useful. If you did, please do give this video a thumbs up. And for more videos like these, do stay subscribed. If you do have any video requests for me, you can hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. The direct links to all my social networks can be found down below in the description as well. So once again, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Till next time, this is Ash here from C4E Tech signing off. You guys have a great day. Bye bye now.